Okay, folks. Hey, Rob. Hey, Mike. How you doing? This is Colin from Pink Outdoor. Sorry about the little dark. Am in the process of rearranging my living room, so I am facing a different direction today. Um, th- this side over here is the open part of my living room. This right here, with the lamp, as you can see back here, is actually the part where usually you see. It was usually behind me, but now I'm facing a different direction. So it gives me a little bit more room this way, and also making room for getting ready for Christmas. We're going to put up our Christmas tree in the next week or so. And yeah, we're just trying to make room in our living room for that purpose. And I do have a new couple shelves. Got my stocking up already. Shelves with all my gear and stuff going up right there. And it's a work in progress. And I'm going to be adding a bow rack right here with some of my bows and some other things. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out. It's is what it is right now. I got a lot of gear that I've got to redo and things like that. I just can only do so much at a time because I can't lift much. So I slide as much as I physically can, which is not much. I do have some, as I mentioned in the description, some new coffee to show you off. I'm sorry about how dark it is right now, because normally when I've got a little bit of a headache, and when I turn the overhead light on, I'll show you what it does. It gets a little bright. For me, it's a little bright in my eyes, but I got my old hat on, so that helps a little bit. Our kitchen's this way instead of this is where Jenny used to sit. Now she's sitting on that side of the room. I can't really show you that side of the room right now because it is a complete disaster area. So we're not even close to being ready to have that whole living room showing off yet. But I do have a bow rack, which is right behind my chair. It's going to be going right here. I am going to probably end up putting maybe some swords up here, maybe a backpack holder somewhere over here somewhere, and that kind of thing. So let me go get that coffee for you first thing, and I will show you a part of what I'm discussing. Okay. Hey, Doug, how you doing? Hey, glad you guys can make it. Thank you for coming. Sorry about the, shadows and stuff. I'm trying to figure out what to do about the lighting situation. I do have some lights I could try setting up. I just haven't got them set up yet. And I'm trying to figure things out as I go. So one of the things that we picked up over the weekend, because we went down to a flea market, and we picked up some coffee. And have anybody ever had a crappy cup of coffee at all? If you have, put a one in the chat, and I bet I got you beat. I'm glad you guys are here and everything. When I get everything finished up over here, it'll look a lot nicer, be a lot more organized and that kind of thing. Okay. Well, I know, but look at this. This is a medium roast. This is a local coffee company that roasts their own coffee. I will put the details in the description below later about where they're from. If you guys want to get a hold of them, they're at the Cover Full Circle. These are people. Correct me if I'm wrong, hon. These are guys who used to be addicts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these used to be drug addicts who are making a,
Alcoholic.
recovering alcoholics. And they decided, after all the crappy coffee they have to drink while they're in meetings and such, they decided we're not paying full price for them. We're going to do it ourselves. So they learned how to roast, and they end up making their own coffee company. And they just decided, this is another crappy cup of coffee. So there you go. That's what it's called. So if anybody wants any questions, there it is. Here's some crappy coffee for you. It is whole bean. They did offer grounds, but at the time we picked it up, they did not bring their coffee grinder on site in order to get a full pound of ground coffee. Now, as we were leaving, they were bringing in their their grinder. So we have grinders. We're going to end up grinding that, and I'll let you guys know how it is after that. But it is a medium roast. They had all the roasts and everything else. But their website is recoverfullcircle.org. So if you guys want to try it, there you go. That way, if anybody from doesn't matter where you're from, you can order it online, and I will bring up the website for you guys. That way, you guys ever want to check it out. And it's going, these guys are recovering, and they are doing an awesome job of what they do. We've tried the coffee. I mean, it was good without any cream, any sugar, or anything like that. Jenny can attest to this. It's good coffee, even when if it was straight black. I think I just heard Jason pop in. How you doing, sir?
Oh, it's a sad, sad day.
Why is that?
The Christmas tree won't light up.
Oh no!
We're in the process of dragging out the tree and getting it all. Before you even set it up, I always plug it in just to make sure. And sure enough, one bit of the tree lit up. So we gotta go get one tomorrow morning.
I'm just trying to pull up the website. That way, you guys can check it out. This coffee that we found.
Now, what did we miss?
Well, I got a new coffee coming that Jenny and I acquired, and it's by people who are in recovery, whether through either alcohol or drug or whatever. They're recovering addicts of various kinds, and they got together to make themselves better by. Have you ever had a crappy cup of coffee, Jason?
Yes.
Oh, yes, I know. I had some the other day.
How about this crappy coffee?
No, I just had some pretty nasty coffee.
Well, this coffee.
I'm thinking they robbed the pot.
I mean, literally, when I drink coffee, I drink it with sugar, black with sugar. And I actually had this, and I could actually tolerate a full cup of this without sugar. It wasn't too dark. It wasn't too bitter. It was just like right on.
Light roast.
It's a medium roast. They had various roasts, and this is the one we chose. And it's whole bean. I have not had a chance to grind it yet. So, yeah, that's going to be, we're going to give that a shot. And there's nothing like, I mean, I've been in the military, and I've had some crappy cup of coffee. So, just saying. Wherever you go, there's some crappy coffee out there. Though, one of my favorite roasts, it is a German roast when I was stationed in Germany. That's going to the German walk classes and stuff like that. And I would just love German coffee. Now, this one here is really not quite up on par, but pretty good for someone. They have not been open for very long, but they do make a really good cup of coffee. And their name is,
Anyways, I'm going to say hi to Rob, Vic, Self, and let's see, Cecilia. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Colin.
Hi.
They are on Facebook. The Crappy Coffee Company on Facebook. They're also on Instagram. for people who want to check it out. But they do really good work for what they do. And
Oh, I forgot to say this. The Barra 1866 Gen 2 will be out shortly.
what is it?
The Barra 1866 Gen 2 air rifle will be out.
Okay. Clarification would always help for me.
Sorry.
Remember, I don't know those kind of things off the top of my head. Now, if you're talking bows, I could probably do the same thing with you with bows.
And they're also going to be selling a receiver kit that you can take the Gen 1 and put it and swap them out. So you can get a scope mount. It's also got the pellet tray built into it.
Okay.
So the big fingers like mine will slide in the pellet.
Well, that's cool. Let's see here. I did get something else that I recently acquired because I'm not sure if you guys have seen my backpack and the condition it's in. That's falling apart. I've had this thing for like 4 years, and it's literally, well, I'll show you what I mean. Give me a second. Okay. I'm going to make myself big here for you can see it, what I'm talking about. Sorry about how dark it is, folks. I'm still trying to get the angle because we rearranged our living room. And this is where going towards our kitchen. That's where our kitchen is. And my backpack, as you can see, some of the Wally webbing is falling apart.
It's seen better days.
It has seen major better days. Well, I was following this guy on TikTok the other day, and he was showing off this backpack that he picked up on there. And for less than $40, I got this one. It came with the patch. I mean, I'm not sure which one you like the big green one or this one here, because they're both like this thing. It's got removable side pouches, and this main pouch right down here turns into a fanny pack, a waist bag. It's got really thick. Look at the waist belt on that one.
Yeah.
It's got load lifters.
Hey, Dan.
And everything else. Hey, Dan. Yeah, this is actually a little bit bigger than the one I've got.
Be right back.
Okay. I have not transferred any of my gear over to it yet. But the pockets expand, and they say it's about a 60-liter pack. But I haven't had a chance to swap everything over. It's really, really huge. I will probably give you more of an update on how well it holds everything once I get things transferred over. But it is in better condition than the one I have. And this thing expands big time. It's literally, that's just one. This is the other. It's not a full lay open type situation, but it does have a full pocket for a hydration system, as well as a hydration hole on the top, grab handle, load lifters, like I said, and the removable waist bag is going to be a bonus because it's got two pouches on either side of that, plus the main pouch. These two here are the same size. They can also be moved, and it's got room for extra stuff here. A little bit different configuration than I'm used to, so which is something I'm going to be getting used to on that one. But for under $40, well worth the money. I'm going to be trying this out, giving more of an in-depth how it works, but it's a little taller than the one I have currently. The straps are actually about a little wider, better padded. I have to try it out once I get my legs back underneath me to see how well it breathes for on the long hikes. But this is going to be my new get home bag or whatever. It does have little hydration clips right there. Only on one side, though. I wish it was on both sides, but it's got a little clip for your hydration bladder right there. So, yeah. For under $40, and it has, I haven't even opened up all the bags yet. I just got this one the other day. And it comes with its own separate strap. And look how wide that strap is. That's a really nice heavy-duty waist belt there. And it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 pouches just in the waist belt one, plus there's 2 here, plus the front one, plus the back one. Now, I am going to probably add an additional pouch here on the waist, so that way I could have some stuff like for snacks or things like that. But that will work out really well compared to my old one. It's also got more room for it. I don't know how it's going to hold my water bottle yet, but that's remains to be seen. But they said it's supposed to hold a 32-ounce water bottle. I hope that's the truth, though. So what do you think, Jason?
I don't know. I just got my dinner. It looks good from here.
It was under $40 with shipping, by the way. It expands quite a bit on the side. Oh, sorry, my hand's in the way. This is the front pocket, which is, much like a book bag. It only goes down, zipper only goes down halfway. It's got mesh on the inside on one side, and it's fairly decently taped. Now, the main pocket's only got one big pocket, so it's really, really big. I mean, literally, I'm up to my elbow, so that's pretty.
Where'd you get it from?
I got it from TikTok Shop. I will give you the link if anybody's interested.
I'm thinking for corn-fed.
Well, I haven't seen him. It's kind of hard to show him if I don't see him,
I know.
Hey, Mike, how you doing? He's in here early. So that's going to be interesting. I am going to try to see if my water bottle will fit in here. I don't know yet until I try it. It looks a little narrow, but these things are deceptively expansive. That's big enough. It might. Let me see here. This is a test. This is only a test. No, I don't think it's going to hold my water bottle as it stands. Whoa, wait. Whoa.
It expands.
Oh, it did. I just shifted something, and next thing I know, it popped open. They're not Velcroed on. They're actually got snaps, which is nice for some molly webbing, because a lot of the ones, like the one I have, the old one, does only have Velcro on their molly, which is okay. But if you got anything weighted in there, they tends to come detached.
Yeah.
And I do have a insulated cover on my water bottle, so it's a little bigger than the standard water bottle. But it looks like, if I get this done right. Now, this is not going to be something you're going to be able to reach back and
Commercial.
take off. Rob's on commercial number 3.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Well, I can always take this off and see what happens. Because that's pretty thick. I like having this. And if it doesn't fit in there, I will have my hydration set up. Actually, I'll just take this off the bag altogether so you can see it. This is how big that single pouch is. Look at the size of my hand. Now, yeah, with that see how we can get this thing going here. Now, if you're just putting it in your standard water bottle or something like that, it's probably going to be a lot easier than my bottle because mine's a 32-ounce bottle. I wish it had 2 zippers. The zippers are decent. They're not YKK zippers or anything, but they're fairly decent. And it, I will learn more as I use it because this is the first time I've actually put it in the pockets. But it does fit in there. But I had to take off my insulated water bottle part in order to do it. But yeah, so you know how much this thing will hold, as you can see. And like I said, this one is actually better than mine because the other one, because it actually snaps instead of Velcro, which is really standard. It does have single stitching on a lot of things instead of double, but a lot of stuff is that way nowadays. But it does have Molly of its own. So this is all going to be figured out as I go. And as it'll probably stretch a little bit once I get started used to using it too. This is supposed to be a 60-liter bag.
That's a good sized bag.
It is. I mean, the one my other one's a 45-liter, but I think it's because the extra pouches, such as these and the waste bag, that it might declare itself a 60-liter bag.
Total, yeah. Not
Now,
my main pocket.
Yeah, and it does have straps to compression straps on the sides and in the back. And I am learning just about this stuff more than you because I am learning this as I go. Please forgive me, folks. I'm just trying to strap this bad boy back on. But this has got some really decent snaps, though.
Somebody's having a crappie dinner. Or crappy, however you want to pronounce it.
Well, I'm having crappy coffee. Does that count? But yeah, it's actually it's got the a really decent hydration bladder pocket. It's mainly just one big open pocket here. There's not a lot of individual pockets in here, which is okay. It's got a little pocket here. Kind of hard to see because of the lighting in here. I am going to work on the lighting. I do have some lights that I acquired thanks to Cecilia, that I will be trying to put up. That'll give me more light facing my face instead of up over here, which is something I'm getting used to. But it does have clips for the hydration bladder. And like I said, it's got load lifters, which is, I really like a pack with load lifters because they make a big difference when you wear your pack. And wide padded straps is also a must. If you carry as much as like I do, you tend to want to make sure you have enough to get through a day trip or whatever it is and make sure you're hydrated. Now, thank you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, folks. I really appreciate it if you do. Now, I will get the link for this pack if anybody's interested, but I can't really do it from here. I have to do it through my phone because the TikTok shop does not show up on my computer, only my phone. And I'm not sure why that is. It's just the way it is. So I'm going to probably end up going through my phone, coming in here, and posting the link in the chat. And then reposting it in the description below. Now, I don't know how many people use a backpack on a daily basis like I do. I don't like not being able to carry all the gear that I need at any given point in time. I mean, I'm going to try to get it where I get more light because this is actually the same color as my my wall that was on the side. because this wall here in front of me and this one here are both the same color. This used to be on my right side with a brown wall here. If I turn it this way a little bit, this was the same wall, but just on the other end. I just swapped with Jenny, turned the living room about 90 degrees. I apologize for the ads. It's supposed to be balanced. If you're getting a lot of ads, I apologize. It's just I'm not picking when the ads are coming up. Now,
That's been a while.
I did do one thing. Okay, you see the shelf right here? This is not one shelf. This is two. I got one stacked on top of another one. Just the fact is, I needed some more space to put my gear, and at the top here, I have a lot of my tarps and stuff, and my tents and some other stuff all the way up here on top. Got some more my puffer jacket and my quilt on this side, plus my French Army Commando tent and some sleeping pads and all this other kind of stuff. It's going to be all up and down this over here. I will be getting some lights set up. I just haven't had a chance to set them up yet. Which will have the light coming this way instead of from up there. So sort of like a ring light, but not quite a ring light. You're talking about a fanny pack there, Rob? Now, on that note, this is the front pouch that was on the back right here. It has Molly on the back. Not your Molly, but a Molly system.
Yeah.
And it does come with
one L, not two L's.
Yep. And it comes with a fairly decent sized waist belt. Which just actually pretty quickly snap in to position. It just snaps in that quick. And it does have, use quick release, as you can see. Now, I am going to be doing some adjusting and figuring out how this all is going to work on here and that kind of thing.
Does it smell good, but you like to taste it? Yeah.
But if you want a fanny pack, whatever, and it's fairly large. Look how big much room is in this one. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 different pockets on this one. So I can see where they'd get a lot of talk about getting extra space. And that is fairly substantial on the side there, as you can see. And that's the same thing on both sides. And the reason I wanted something like this, I could use one of these as a dedicated medic pouch. The front is not as deep, but it does have a lot of individual sections. With more Molly on the front. And on the sides, no less. So what do you think of that, Rob? And also, if you didn't like to use it like this, they do have an option, which is actually kind of cool, if you think about it. You could switch it from that to a shoulder bag. So you could just, they got additional snaps on to turn your waist bag strap into a full on. Give me a second here. Shoulder bag. So you can wear it this way. So it has a lot of options. So that's myself, I think, is really, really cool. What do you guys think? Yep. I got Little Miss behind me. Little Miss is right here. So the Big Mike, you have confirmation this is where she's at right now. But I think this is actually pretty cool. And it's actually got a really decent carry handle. You want to do it that way. And if you want to strap it down, you flip the carry handle over and you got some compression straps to hold everything inside as well. Just like that.
We're at Walmart tomorrow. I'm going to grab a package of sausage for dinner.
So there you go, folks. That's what all the different configurations. So that's actually pretty slick.
It's a lot of pockets, man.
And it has a part where you can slide the belt through a little pocket in the back, through here, if you don't want to strap it to that, but keep it more snug if you want to go that route.
Hey, honey, I want to do omelets tomorrow night for dinner.
Okay.
So I want my peppers and
You two need to stop it. Sorry, had to discipline a kitty.
No, I said I got to pick my pepper yesterday.
Yeah, how'd it go?
Oh man, it is such a beautiful, beautiful red color.
Well, that's cool.
No green on it whatsoever. And tomorrow we're gonna cut it up and both the red and green. And then I'm gonna do some onions and we're gonna make omelets for dinner.
Sounds like a Possum Lodge pepper because you said red green.
Yeah. Christmas omelet with sausage.
Well, I could send you the link if you want me to, Rob, on this pouch. And like I said, I mean, even without it being anything else, I mean, I like the fact that it has the double snaps instead of Velcro. And it has the quick release as well. And that's a pretty substantial snap on there. I will have to attach it to my bag, mind you, but yeah.
Oh, it's one of my favorite peppers, Rob, an Anaheim.
So that's fairly hot then.
No, not for me.
Well, for those people who are wusses like myself, who can't handle super hot anything, because I like being able to breathe, you know.
My Tabasco sauce is hotter.
But for those people who eat a lot of hot peppers in general, it wouldn't be. But those of us who don't, I like being able to breathe. Jason is really red pepper. I don't recall.
Writing that one.
No. There's something Dahl writing that one. I'm not familiar who that author is.
I think it's trying to say Rudolph.
I don't know. But I like the options. And that's a big thing. Options are a big key thing on a lot of things nowadays. This would make a really good emergency medic bag, you know? Now gets to be the fun part. Ooh, okay. He's even got a couple loops on the bottom where I could strap on my back, either a tent or a sleeping bag or both, real quick. It's gonna be interesting to see how that turns out. I generally don't carry a tent with me. I do carry a couple of emergency tents. I got two tarps, a emergency sleeping bag, and that's pretty much it for shelter. But it's one of those emergency sleeping bags. Is what those sole ones.
Yeah.
They work for what they are, but they don't breathe at all, which is not necessarily a good thing. Because if you're sweating and the moisture has nowhere to go, you're going to be soaking cold. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Thank you for the information. I have not seen the BFG or the James and the Giant Peach, but I have seen the original Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with
Yeah, I think he's referring to Big Friendly Giant.
Big Friendly Giant. Okay, I've heard of it. I've seen bits and pieces of it in videos here and there, but I have not watched the movie.
No, we watched the part 2 of Dune last night.
Okay, when you say part 2 of Dune, you're talking about the new one,
Yes.
not the original.
Yeah,
because Dune is this will be technically this is the third iteration of Dune, not including the series they're talking about too. So the original Dune I remember seeing actually had Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, no, they're all good.
Yeah,
they're all good.
Now, if anybody's ever read the books of Dune, there's 9 original ones. I don't know if there's more than that now, but when I read them, there were 9. And yeah. 1989. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, that's the one with Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, and Sting. Don't forget Sting was in there too.
And Max von Sydow.
Yep. A lot of Star Wars crossovers and Star Trek crossovers.
And believe it or not, what's his name?
Yeah, I know what's his name.
Oh shoot. The one where the guy goes in time, travels back and forth.
Doctor Who?
No, not Doctor Who.
Time Tracks. I have no idea who you're talking
Oh,
about.
I'm trying to remember his name. Oh shoot, it's right there, and I can't remember it.
Patrick, David Tennant.
Was it Leap something? Quantum Leap.
Oh, you're talking about one that played Jonathan Archer on Enterprise.
No, the other guy, the one that worked with Biggie.
I have no idea.
He's talking about the reboot.
Oh, you talk about Doc Brown, Marty McFly. Yeah, but we can talk about time travel, TV shows, and movies all you want, but we have a lot of opinions on both sides. But that's my little one-off on this particular backpack, folks. I will try to get a link to that particular backpack, and I'll let you know. Oh, I was going to do something. Actually, I could probably try that.
Huh? Dean Stockwell, that's it.
Dean Stockwell, yeah, okay.
He was actually in the.
Rob put it in the chat.
Huh? Oh,
Rob put it in the chat.
okay. Thank you, Rob, because I was actually going to look for it. Yeah, he's almost unrecognizable. Hey, Blake. He's one that played the Duke's doctor.
Okay.
Dr. Fruity.
Dr. Fruity, as Jenny says.
Yeah. I kept thinking Rockwell, but I knew that wasn't it. I said, "Hi, Blake."
I don't know if this is going to work for you guys, but I am going to try something. Let me see if I get my. I am going to try something. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah, Mike's a big Steen fan. Yeah, I like the Stingers from CCI as well.
I am trying to type my in, but I'm not sure if am able to go do this.
Oh, I got a little bit of news today too.
What's that?
Ran across one of my old videos, so I clicked onto it, and there was an advertisement on it.
Was that good or bad?
Yeah, I don't get paid for it. But every once in a while, I'll go back and I'll watch a couple of my old videos, and some of them will actually have advertisements on them.
Well,
But it's only the ones that have the high numbers.
for some reason, I can't. Now, let me try something else. Please forgive me. I'm going to end up entering myself into my chat here from my phone. And hopefully this is going to work.
You hope. Glow sticks, disco lights, lightsaber.
Trying to get my.
Looks like a big mess.
Okay, hopefully that's worked. I don't know if it will. So bear with me, folks. Oh, come on. Work.
Ooh, really? Ad number 6 for Dan. Looks like Rob got confirmation that his new pointy stick is UK legal today.
Oh, congrats.
Does that mean it's 5 foot, 11 inches long instead of 6 foot?
Okay, there it is. If anybody wants to try getting that one, you can try. That's the link for my.
The problem is you put it in private chat.
Well, now you got it. I'm just going to kick my other self from studio, but I just wanted to be able to post that. So hopefully, let me know if that works, folks. Because I don't normally am able to. Oh, you can see it. Okay, there you go. It comes in different colors and stuff.
Really?
Oh, sorry about that.
How'd you get those legal?
Okay. Trying to figure out what he's talking about because I only.
No, he got a couple of pocket knives.
Oh, okay. He did show me a kit that he got. That he ordered. So it looked really interesting. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh, non-locking. Okay.
Yeah, Rob showed me pictures. Here, I'll show you.
Kind of like the color.
The kit he picked up. Now, I don't know if that is a real Swiss Army knife or is that just a knockoff. But, you know, I'm not sure about this one on the top, but yeah. No, I know you like the colors there, Dan. That's your favorite color. He loves orange. Okay, that's cool.
The Zippo's cool.
Yeah, I mean, Zippo's always a good brand. I've never had an issue with any Zippo that I've ever used.
Yeah, I have.
Now, which depends on which kind you get. I mean, they've had some cheesy ones that people try to be trendy, but I don't know about
No,
how.
when you get to the end of that flint, it goes bloop, right out of it when you go
Well,
to strike it.
that's why you always carry your extra flints.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it takes a long time to get. I mean, you can put longer flints in.
Yeah, I know.
You can buy really, really long ones, and that'll last you years before you have to replace it. Now, do you have to make sure you maintain the spring and the flint and the cotton batten and all
Oh,
that
yeah.
other stuff? Sure, but that's any maintenance you have to do on anything like that. But generally, a Zippo, even without fuel, is valuable. So, yeah. What are you going to do with that lighter if you're not going to use that Zippo? I know someone who probably make you an offer on that orange Zippo right here in the chat, and it won't be me. That'll be Dan because Dan loves orange. Now, I personally do not own a Zippo. I used to, but I lost it years ago. My dad carried one faithfully for years before he passed on, and because it was so old, it was considered a collector's item, and it got sold in the auction when he passed away.
Mm. Now, like I said, I have a bicentennial Olympic slider from Atlanta. And it's a Zippo.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
Still inside this package.
There's a John Deere.
No, I don't have a John Deere one.
I'm trying out different layouts here.
Uh,
I could try putting up a background and see if that might change things a little bit.
oh, emergency pizza from Domino's. Oh, it was gone just that quick.
Well, there's this one. Doesn't change the lighting, unfortunately, because I'm used to having the light up over this way instead in front of me instead of over to my side over here. I feel like the Predator blending in. Oh, that's cool. Well, Gary was I'm sorry, but Gary lost his really Christmas Zippo, but there it is. The only thing I carry regularly with me, I mean, I've got my Bic lighters. I've got miniature Bic lighters. I've got two of them. I carry. They're both zip tied shut, but they can't be used because you never know when something's going to be messing up on you or anything like that. You know.
No, I was just thinking. they got to clean up the Los Angeles for the Olympics in 4 years.
Oh wow, it's going to take 4 years, and they're going to pay multiple billions of dollars. That's not going to go to anybody who's like homeless or anything. And they're probably going to try to push the homeless out of the area when they do. Sorry, it's a pet peeve of mine.
I'm thinking Newton's going, ooh, look at all the dollar signs we're going to get. Ooh.
Yeah. They're more worried about making money than actual helping people who actually need it. But since we're
temporarily, but
since we're getting into the winter months, for those people around the world, exception of Mandy, of course, who's going into her summer months, we're going to be worried more about keeping warm. Well, let me get rid of this background because you guys can't see this at all. I'm not really a big fan of virtual backgrounds anyway. And that's a good old-fashioned hand warmer. Yes, you can get the hot hands kind, but the thing is, once you use a hot hands and you're out in the wild, you cannot do anything about it. And with the proper fuel, which I have down here, I dropped my bottle of fuel, which is the same fuel you use for your Zippos, by the way. These things work. Sometimes they work too well if you're not careful. You have one like this, Jason? This one is the Johnny hand warmer.
I'm digging.
You're digging? Okay. This one's a John E. Gon. See if I can get that to. There you go. Yep. I've got a more flat one. I've seen big ones. I've seen small ones. This has only got one little ding in the corner where I dropped it.
Yeah.
But this one is from Aladdin Labs in Minneapolis, Minnesota. These things work really, really well. And other than you got to be careful about keeping them next to your skin because they will get hot. They last between 6 and 8 hours, depending on which one you get. And some of the newer ones, the liquid fuel ones, not the battery-powered ones, can go up to 12 hours. Now, the only thing I could foresee is a really good idea for the rechargeable ones that they can also be used as emergency battery chargers for your phone. And a lot of people, when they talk about survival stuff lately that I've seen, they talk about little miniature solar panels. They talk about their battery bags, their power stations, and things like that. But they don't talk about, carrying your cell phones with you. Right? Which brand is that one, Jason?
That's what says Peacock on it.
That's a good brand too. You got two of them. Okay. I think I got a couple of those somewhere. I know I got one for Jenny. It's somewhere. I just got to figure out where I put it. But I put it in a different bag since the original bag disintegrated. But yeah, these things right here can really literally save your fingers. And especially when you're out hunting, hiking, or just on your way, you get somewhere and you forget your gloves get soaked or something like that. It'll help keep your hands and your core warm. It's just not really huge like one of the hot hand stuff does.
Yeah, because I have around here. I have the original, the red velvet case.
Right.
I still have fuel sticks for it.
I've got extra fuel sticks if you need them. Because we don't have one that takes the fuel sticks.
You can still purchase them.
Oh, well, we found a whole bunch of them. We just didn't know what to do with them. But they do make emergency fire starters.
Yeah.
Just saying.
No, the nice thing is those kept me really nice and warm when I was on the golf courses.
Yeah, I bet they did.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know when I lived in Arizona, only for 6 months, but in the really early mornings, it got really bitter cold because there's really nothing to hold the heat in.
try up there by Flagstaff and Prescott. It's cold up there.
Well,
Hey.
I've been to that's my sister lived in Flagstaff
Mhm.
when I went to go visit her when I was a kid. It was the one time I went through Albuquerque, so I've actually been to Albuquerque. So, hey, little miss, what are you doing? She discovered that my our heater pops out right where she's sitting.
Artificial heat.
Yep. Well, that and they snuggle up to me because I have to sleep in this freaking chair because my knee, I can't lay down sideways like I want to. I have to keep my leg propped up. It's kind of hard to do that and get in and out of a bed, unfortunately.
Everett, number far too many.
Let me see. I am even sure if I even got one yet.
I think I've seen like 2 on mine.
I got one for Secret Lab. I guess those are for gaming chairs. So it's advert number 1 for me because I don't usually I kind of stay on my StreamYard side. Ad 7 for Dan. Wow. Now, in the midst of all my cleaning, I found both of my survival shoelaces that Molly gave me. Now, one of them is shredded, but I did find with it the striker that comes with it from Survival Frog. If I can get this thing here where you can actually see the frog, which is the ones that came from both Nancy, who's Big Mike's mom, Survival Frog. I know it's kind of hard to see, folks. Please bear with me. It is very tiny. But survivalfrog.com. You have a lot. That was part of a lot of the stuff that was given away at the gathering last year. But that's the striker for the little flints on the shoelaces, which I wore until my shoelaces wore out. Really? KS engines like warm things. That is true. So how's everybody's weekend so far? How'd they go?
Mine's still going.
Yeah, yours just started, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because you have an odd schedule, just like Cliff does. You don't have the standard weekend.
Yeah, I kind of like
schedule.
it.
Well,
You know what's nice is tomorrow we're supposed to go for breakfast, and then we're supposed to go to a Walmart, get a new Christmas tree.
yeah. Explain, folks, to why you need a new Christmas tree.
Because it doesn't light up no more.
So you have one of those
Oh, yeah.
light attached type Christmas trees.
Yeah. Did.
I'm a firm believer in the old school. It used to be allowed, but you bring it into your house kind. Because when I was growing up, I was never allowed to have a real Christmas tree. My older brother was deathly allergic to them. Now that I'm an adult, I had them all the time because I can almost guarantee you my brother would never come to my house. And before people think that's cruel, it is not. This is a defense mechanism. Because my older brother tried to kill me. And that's enough for me.
No, I just like it quick, easy, simple.
But the thing is, I like the smell of Christmas trees, you know?
I just leave the door open.
We don't have a lot of pine trees where I'm at. We have maple trees. You know, the kind you can get syrup out of?
Yeah.
Can't do that out of pine trees.
Yeah, pine salt's cheaper.
Pine salt's artificial.
I know.
No Christmas. You guys celebrate? Oh, you don't celebrate Christmas, or because I know families in England that celebrate Christmas. Now, before people, get on me about, celebrating Christmas thing, I don't celebrate it as a Christian holiday. I celebrate it as a family holiday thing. And this is going to be like one of the few I have left with Ian. Because I won't have Pepper here because she's in Arizona at the moment. She's living there now. And she's working in a rock shop of all things.
So she became a rock hound.
Oh, she's always been one. It's just now she gets paid for it to sell the rocks to other people. And she's seeing a park ranger. So she's cool. But anybody who's met Pepper knows that she is kind of cool. She's a little out there, but that's okay. That's who she is. We love her just the way she is.
That's funny, Rob.
There's nothing wrong with no. You celebrate Chuck Norris himself or his beard. There's a distinction there.
No, it's just a reason to party.
Now you've met my daughter.
No, Christmas.
No, you've met my daughter.
Yeah.
What is your opinion of my daughter?
Eccentric.
There's nothing wrong with being eccentric.
No, there's not.
I love that fact about her because she's doing stuff now that I did when I was a kid. I traveled, I drove everywhere, and everything else. But I did join the military after all that too, though.
Huh?
He did sword dancing.
She's asking if you did sword dancing.
Say what?
If you did sword
That's
dancing.
what he's doing.
No, I did not do sword dancing. I did learn how to sword fight, if that makes any sense. Among other things. That's where I got my love of reenacting and things like that. And Renaissance fairs and a whole bunch of other things. Which actually started off all the stuff I do, with the exception of archery. Archery's been like the thread that strings everything together. And I will have a bow rack right here later, either next week or later this week. And I'll probably put a sword in that corner there and another sword that corner right there. And a hook right here for a backpack. Probably this one, where I can just hang my backpack right there. So that way I can have access to it and it's not on the floor. But I do have a lot of different things I'm going to be doing shortly in the future with this setup and everything. But now, instead of me having to search for all my stuff, it's going to be on a shelf right here, right next to me. That's not going to be on the floor. I don't have to go digging for it. Yes, we're going to be literally right here. Sword repair, I have not done because that takes a bladesmith, and I know only a few people who are literally qualified to do that. Because you don't want someone who doesn't know what they're doing to try to attempt to fix a blade of any kind, including especially swords.
I knew a cleaning smith.
A what?
A clinging smith.
What is that?
Bellsmith. Make bells.
I have not met a bellsmith.
Literally, that was his name in German.
That's cool. But was he actually made bells?
No. The generations ago, they did, yes, in his family.
Okay. Now, I do know some people who actually are one of the best swordsmiths that I know of, lives in Omaha. And he made this one short sword. I can't say I'm not much of a blade guy, per se, but this short sword was so immaculate. He wanted $3,000 for it. I wish I would have had the money for it. I would have said, This guy won awards for making swords. So he's one of those people that the rich people go to have their swords made for them. Oh, okay. The pommel falls off there, Mike. It doesn't have a little threaded screw part on there. Those can be fixed. Just saying. Now I have two swords, which I have. One is going to be right here. Is going to be Strider's sword from Lord of the Rings, and then the other one's going to be a French arming sword right there. Now I wanted to put a crossbow up there somewhere, but I didn't know. I don't own a crossbow. Not anymore, anyway. Technically, I didn't own it before. That was Jenny's, because she's better with those than I am. Now, I'm not sure how many people here, besides Mike, who goes to Renaissance fairs on a regular basis. I do know that Jason and Molly have gone, and I know that Cliff has gone. I don't know who else have, but reenacting in general has actually helped my bushcraft skills and my survival skills immensely, because you learn how to do things without electricity. You get quite good at it when you need to feed yourself, keep yourself warm, etc. Oh, you can get you can get them rethreaded, Mike. I'm sure Jason might know the tool it's needed for rethreading.
Yeah, it's a tap and die.
A tap and die, yeah. Now, only thing I would be worried about is if his current threads are stripped and use a tap and die, wouldn't the diameter of the technically new screw system would be smaller?
You would have to do a whole new new threads and new bolt, and they'd be smaller.
You need a new pommel then, unless you can figure out a way to. I don't know.
It's called epoxy.
Yeah, you could do that. Wow. I don't even have it on that high of anything, which is really, really freaking weird. I'm just going. I'm keeping checking to see what's going on with people getting all these ads, and I don't understand why it's got these ads popping in so quickly, and it's supposed to be balanced.
Oh, Earl's back into trapping in his videos. No, not super glue, epoxy.
Yeah, it's balanced, so it's not supposed to be bouncing up too much. JB Weld would work, but then you're going to have a lot of overshoot for that, and you're going to have to probably file it down to make it look decent. Otherwise, it's going to hold really well, but it's going to look crappy. Right, Jason?
Yep.
But JB Weld would work, as well as epoxy. But JB Weld is basically like epoxy anyway, if you think about it.
It is.
It takes two different things together, and
Yep. Part A and part B.
but I think JB Weld gets hot, I think, doesn't it?
No,
Yes.
not really.
It gets warm.
It gets warm. It doesn't get hot.
But yeah, that once you do that, it's not coming off. You can't do any repairs to it. It's literally done. Now, depending on what kind of sword you have, whether it's a fantasy style sword, such as like the Strider sword like I got, or the French army, the French arming sword that I have, it's just depends. Now, I don't know if Jason has any swords.
No.
You seem like you might have a machete more than a sword.
I got a machete.
That's technically a sword, you know.
No.
It falls under the parameters.
And if you ask the kids, it's a bladed weapon.
It's a bladed weapon of a certain length. It might be considered a short sword, but still a sword. If you think a machete could be classified as a sword, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't, put a 2. Well then, Carrie, how you doing? You just missed a question for you real quick. Main topic. You ever had crappy coffee? 3? What do you mean 3? That wasn't the question. I did a small review on a new backpack that I'm going to be transitioning all my gear over to. I am going to be able to use my one of my hydration packs with that, which is going to be nice. That way I don't have to worry about pulling out my water bottle every 5 seconds. Sons of the Mist, okay. Those guys are good. They're actually professional bladed sword fighters. Oh, okay. That's okay. If you only drink tea or whatever, that's fine. Or soda, if that's what you prefer. Though, I know one guy who does nothing but drinks hot chocolate, which nothing wrong with that either. Now, okay, Jason, what's your opinion of this blade right here? Let me make it bigger so you can see it better.
No, that's fine. So I'm not much on blades.
Neither am I. This was like $3 found at a flea market. And that turns out it's a 1960s trade knife. Full tang, as you can see.
What kind of trade?
It's one of those. It was probably at a rendezvous kind setup. I don't know. I can't find any identifying marks to it. I had a bladesmith look at it, but it is. I could shave with this thing. It's in the Bowie style, obviously.
Yeah.
But look at that. The scales on that. That's pretty cool. It looks like it might be maple on the handle. No coins on it, obviously. It does not have a proper sheath, unfortunately, because a friend of mine who made the sheath forgot one major issue. I'm not right-handed.
Oh.
I'm a lefty. Pepsi, I'm with you. I'm not sponsored by Pepsi yet, but I'm waiting. If anybody on here knows me, they know that I have a major Pepsi holic. And actually, one of my banners is this one. If I can get this thing to work, is that one. But that's that one. But I will put this one down. Neither one. I call it slicer. Now, slicer is actually the name of the small accompanying blade that goes to my that comes with the Strider sword, because it doesn't technically have a name in the Lord of the Rings movies. Well, I'll show you because I think it's really cool. Oh, ow, bad knees. Oh, frick. Hey, you keep company there, girl.
Oh, here, let me send this. There you go, Rob. You got one coming towards you.
Okay. I've shown these off in the past, but for those people who have not seen them, this is my Strider sword. I actually got this right after the movie came out. You know, the first initial Hobbit movie came out. This is official Lord of the Rings, as you guys can see. This is the one I nicknamed Slicer, because this thing came out razor sharp from the day I got it. And it initially, I did do one modification to it, is this part here, which is allows you to supposed to be wearing it on your belt or on your sword of strap of your sword of your horse. Excuse me. I switch it from a right one to a left one because I'm left-handed. So this is set up for a left-hand draw. But it is a really fully functional sword. And it is Lord of the Rings as well. It is really heavy. It has one major drawback for me. Standing up, I can't draw this from my waist. I'm too short, which is very funny.
Mm.
No, I'm not naming any of my blades Larry. I'm not dumb. Now, this is the one I actually like. I am not a swords person. Even though I own swords, I am not a sword person. I like this one because it's fast. It's got really good spring steel. And I won this. I won both of these online in online contests. So I didn't buy these. I won them from the actual companies that sold them. Now you're just being silly there, Mike. Dwayne the Knife Johnson.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for those people that I didn't see if a lot of people, only one person commented when I asked the question, is a machete considered a sword or not? I'd like to hear you guys' opinion. Put a 1 in the chat if you think you do, if you think it is, and 2 if you don't.
It's just a long knife. Or should I say hatchet?
Well, according to the AI overview on my computer from Google, it's not technically considered a sword, although it shares some of the similarities as a sword as a bladed weapon. It is designed primarily intended for practical uses such as clearing vegetation, making it more a large knife with a broad blade rather than a short sword, though it technically falls into the parameters of a short sword as well. And if anybody knows anything about the author S.M. Sterling, he features machetes or chets, Chete, as a bladed weapon favored by people from Iowa in his series of books. What is 3 again, Dan? What is 3? But Jason thinks it's just a knife. But most knives are not longer than my arm. Now, a machete is. Hey Taylor, how you doing, brother?
Hey, Chicks, how you doing?
He went live the other like last night or yesterday afternoon, and I tried to get on it, but I missed him by 2 minutes.
I saw that he went live last night, but like I said, Molly and I were watching a movie,
What movie?
Dune Part 2.
Dune Part 2. Okay.
What'd you think of it?
Jenny wants to know what you thought of
I
it.
like it.
I wasn't crazy about it.
Molly wasn't crazy about it. I like the way they actually told the story.
So it didn't continue. It backed up.
Unless you read the books, you wouldn't understand. I read the books. I'm kind of partial to the books. And the original first movie because it was the first book movie adaptation I watched when I was a kid.
I thought it was continue it when I left off, but it didn't.
It did.
Didn't
Quasi sword would technically be true. It's like it's got a lot of the same qualities, like it's just not the same. I don't understand why it's not considered a sword, but
It's
it's
not
also
built.
considered a tool, huh?
It's not built like a sword.
Is it full tang generally most of the time? Yes. Is it longer than 24 inches? Most of the time, yes. I missed it by like 2 minutes, Tyler. I'm sorry. I was going to be in. I was in on his one prior to that, the day before, and I was one of the two moderators he had. He was having issues with people, with trolls. And I was like the first moderator to pop in. So I got to help him out on that for a while. Now, you were there later on, though, for that one, Jason, I believe. You popped in late.
For the one a couple days ago.
Yeah, I was on Saturday, I think. Or Sunday. I keep on forgetting. I lose track of days since I've been stuck home. You think, okay, go. Well, I guess it could be there, Dan.
I bet X knife. There you go.
So, Tyler, what do you consider a machete? Is it a sword, a knife, or axe knife hybrid? I value your opinion. Now, because I mean, a lot of people talk about taking axes and big knives and everything else when they go out doing bushcraft stuff and survival stuff, but you don't hear people talk about taking machetes. I mean, I'm not seeing very many videos here on YouTube even talk about machetes that much. Have you, Jason?
Nope, never looked.
Well, I mean, when you see somebody doing a review of the newest knife, you'll see a lot of those. If you want to see someone doing reviews on axes, you'll see a lot of those, or air rifles, or different tools that are required in either bushcraft, survival, or hunting even. But you don't see a lot of people reviewing machetes.
No.
And they've been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, yet no one talks about them. That doesn't make any sense to me. Because, I mean, yes, they are considered a farming tool sometimes, but they're more than that. I've seen people use them as defense. I've seen horror movies use them immensely in those. If anybody's ever watched any of the horror movie in the past 40 years, you've seen at least one movie with a machete in it. But, or even the movie Machete. If you ever watched any of those. Yeah, just the fact is, I think it's a more versatile tool than people take credit for. So I think it's something somebody should at least have on hand if you don't have one. I've been looking for a decent one. Ian's got a couple military ones, but he won't let me touch. But because the U.S. military used to have their own brand of machete for the longest time. I don't know if they still do, but that's something you can consider. And if I'm talking too fast or if I'm too dark, I apologize for being too dark, because otherwise I get blinded right here and it's giving me a little bit of a headache. That's just me feeling that way today. And I'm wearing a different hat than I'm usually used to, but because I need something with a brim where I stop blinding myself. I used to rogue artichokes with a bladed hook. I'm not sure what you called it, but it was sharpened hook. It was sharpened on the end, on the curve. Great for cutting down rogue stalks of corn and the like.
Yeah, carpet knife.
Well, this one had a long handle. It wasn't a carpet knife, but it had enough. You grab it on the top of the stalk, reach down with the thing, and just. rip back, and he just cuts it from the ground. Right up against the ground, about that far off the ground. And they Iowa has a lot of people who they require a lot of teenager work on certain fields because you can make decent money at it when you're a kid. The only thing is it's hard work. It's like detasseling and stuff like that. I don't know if they do a lot of it there in Texas. I'm sure if they have any cornfields there, I'm sure it's done. But I have seen machines that can do it, but not as good as a person going through and doing it. And growing up as a kid from Iowa, that was one of the few summer jobs you can get to make decent money. It was hard work. It was thirsty work, but it was, way to make money.
You had to worry about the corn monkeys?
No, that was only people from Illinois have to worry about corn monkeys. Because the monkeys want to get out of Illinois and go to Iowa.
Yeah.
Because Iowa's their natural habitat, not Illinois. I'm waiting for a response. No, Tyler hasn't said anything since he came in.
Yeah.
And if you want to come up, guys, the link is at the top of the chat. Please do. I can have up to 6 people in here because this is not your paid StreamYard because I can't afford to do that anymore since they quadruple their prices. But I like the system because it's easy for me to understand. Trying to learn a new system is hard.
It's actually not that different.
Oh, it's a lot different. I looked at it, Jason, and I literally read it, and it's like, it makes no sense to me. Well, one of the things you got to watch out for walking beans, you got to watch out for snakes and stuff. Because we do have rattlesnakes and stuff like that here in Iowa. And if you're detasseling corn, you wouldn't believe how many people get slices deep enough to require stitches by the stalks along by the the blades of the corn stalks. They can slice your finger open as easy as a knife. And you're not using any tools other than your hands. So that's why a lot of people suggest you wear gloves, but sometimes you can't wear gloves because the tassels are so freaking wet with dew. Your gloves will just slide, and they keep you on a schedule because you got to walk so many rows per day and everything else. It's hard work. It's hard labor, I should say. But detasseling is easier than not as easy as roguing corn, but roguing corn is more physically thing because you actually have to put some more muscle into it. Now, if anybody here has detasseled, let me know. Have you ever done it, Jason?
What, tassel corn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How often?
I did it once when I was a kid.
For a day, for a month, from weekend, summer?
We did it for a day. I mean, it was just the family farm.
Yeah, I did it for a summer. Yeah, between my sophomore and junior years, and some in my between my junior and senior year, because I didn't have a steady job, but those things, the money, that was the jobs that were hiring. That was the ones that paid decent. Yeah. Well, you had a farm. Why didn't you ever detassel there, Mike? But I can't remember how many times my fingertips were sliced because of corn. And some people don't realize, some people ended up developing severe corn allergies, not realizing that they had them because of all the pollen and stuff that you had to go around. And when your fingers are sliced open and the pollen gets in there, oh man, it's different to say the least.
That's not corn.
Yeah.
What was that?
Well, I saw corn porn.
Say that again.
Well, I saw corn porn.
Corn porn?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good
Now,
fish.
I actually did another job when I was a freshman. Um, it was called sorting corn. It's where you went to work for someplace like Pearson or Pioneer, and the corn that came out of the fields, you had to put them into a corn husking machine. Basically, you stood in front of a conveyor belt, and if the corn came down, they put it. If it still had the husk on it, you had to throw it back in the machine to have it go back through to it to shuck it for you. So it was corn shucking, but you had a machine to do it all. And it was like playing basketball over and over and over again. But you had to be fast, and it was hot, sweaty work. But a lot of corn related jobs here in Iowa. Go figure. Now, I see so far only one person besides me who said who's done it like me. That'd be Dan. Though you said you did it at your family farm, Jason.
Yeah. When I was a kid,
How many acres did you end up doing?
we only had 2.5 acres. It wasn't very much.
Oh, we had to do about 20 acres a day. That was just not just one person, but I mean as a crew.
Yeah.
And we had this one guy. His name was Lex Ferguson. He got mad at the foreman, and because the foreman was one of those nitpicking kind that said, "Oh, you missed this, you missed this." He got mad at him, come after him, and just went down his row. And all you could see is he going so far ahead of us, and tassels were just flying up in the air. And the foreman thought he's going to get him on missing anything. The guy did a whole. We're talking about a mile and a half or so row, cleanly picked. And he just sat down there smoking a cigarette, waiting for everybody to catch up.
Yeah.
Because everybody had to go in rows. Because he couldn't catch up, go to a new row till everybody caught up. Because the foreman really torqued him off big time. But yeah, it's something that an Iowa kid kind of happen. It's one of the jobs that come up easily available. I'm considering seeing what Ian would be interested in doing it over the next summer, because he's looking to get his GED instead of graduating because of his learning disabilities are really kicking his butt, and his school is not being very accommodating, unfortunately. They say they are, and they're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they just don't understand. Because Ian doesn't just have ADHD, he's autistic. High functioning autistic, but still autistic. But anybody who's met Ian knows he's an odd bird anyway. Both my kids are. And me too, I guess. If I'm being honest.
That's why I married you.
And Jenny said that's why she married me. But if anybody wants to, I can go over some of the items that I showed off earlier. I don't know if Ajax is into coffee or not.
Yeah. I don't know if he drinks coffee or not.
Yes, Ian is one heck of a thrift finding machine. He can find some really good deals.
Oh, speaking of,
Yes.
uh, April was telling me about a place that's kind of like the Looney Bin.
Right.
It's called Ralph's Rubbish,
Okay.
and it's run by two brothers. And she gave me the address for it, but I left it.
Okay. So somebody
You can
named.
find it on. We do a search for it on my house.
Okay. Jenny found another Looney Bin style Amazon bin store that she wants to go check. She ended up getting a new coworker because her former coworker flaked.
MIA.
Yep. I mean, literally in 1 2 week period, only showed up 2 hours.
AWOL. Yeah, AWOL, I should say.
They gave excuse after excuse after excuse, and including one that said, "Oh, she went into a psych ward."
Yeah.
She didn't call in. A friend of hers called in, and all this other stuff. So Jenny needs a literal person who can do the job right, because when she's having to do all the work by herself, she's having to work on Saturdays to even keep up.
That's
You
a
know,
lot.
it is for one person. And she only the place where she works at is, when it has 5 people working, it's ideal because it's not a very big shop. But ideally, 5 is what you need.
Yeah, as long as one of the people actually does her job.
Well, if she actually shows up.
And does her job.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they're looking for people to do foot castings. They're looking for people to. So they got a new person in, so they're gonna. The person is a former office manager, so she's gonna be able to help with a lot of that kind of work. Even though technically Jenny is the office manager.
Hey, I don't want to
Hey, that's what Kai said. Correct?
Yeah.
When the boss says you're the office manager, you're the office manager.
As long as she gets paid for it.
She does. She gets paid really well for what she does. She is a medical coder and biller. That's her primary job. She does the medical coding and billing. But she also has to clean cast, sell shoes, all these other different jobs that normally takes 2 people to do or more. She's trying to do it with just her boss and her and his wife sometimes. And now they got a new girl, April, you said? Her name is April. Just started the other day. So, who was a friend of the boss's wife. And so far, we're going to see how that works out. She's got experience, so that's going to help.
I think she'll be just fine.
Well, Jenny likes her, so that's good. Add number 18. Okay. Up team. But Jenny is actually going to have to work on Saturday. So to catch up on things. She was sick yesterday, so she's making up for it. But yeah. We're getting things figured out. Me and I'm working on getting my weight down till I get my surgery in February. Yay. So I get a new titanium knee, which I'm going to be so freaking glad about, because I hate being able to not be able to walk more than 20 yards before I just have to sit down.
Yeah, you're not going to like the cold much.
Well, my knee might not like the cold, but the rest of me doesn't mind it, though. But I also know better to dress for the temperatures I'm in. Wearing thermals, all that stuff. But I'm going to have to wait and see, because I've never had a titanium body part. The only extra body part I've had right now is a plastic stent in my heart. The hearing test is tomorrow, Cecilia. No, sorry. So the hearing test is Friday. My thing tomorrow is a pain injection for my knee. I got to drive all the way up to Fort Dodge, which is about a 2-hour one-way trip. So 4-hour trip, round trip. And then I will turn the results. Once I get the results from my hearing test, I'll turn that over to the VA, and because it's being done by the VA, it'll be one step closer to me getting my disability for that. Apparently, I'm getting there's 2 different types of hearing disabilities that I didn't know about. One I knew about, which is the tinnitus. The second one is for my hearing in general. So I guess 2 different types of abilities for the same thing, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'll find out, and if everything goes through channels properly, I'll be on disability for that for life, because I can't get rid of it. And you can't fix it. And hearing aids, there is no hearing aids for tinnitus. In case anybody asks.
Oh, I know.
Because tinnitus does not go away. I wish it would, but it doesn't. Now, anything you want to bring up, Jason? You mentioned something about a new air rifle coming out or something.
Well, it's an upgrade.
Well, it's an upgrade, still new, right?
Yeah, it's the Gen 2.
What? What brand? Who makes it?
Barra. No, the one you see there at Walmart that looks like a Winchester or a Henry.
No, I can't say I have. Like I said, I don't know air rifles at all. I mean, Ian's got one. That is his Beeman.
No, this one's it looks like a Winchester or an old West gun.
The only thing they have at Walmart is actual BB guns. Like a Daisy.
Yeah, it's based on their same premises.
Okay. Same premise?
Yeah.
Premise and premises are two different things.
Premises. Yeah, so yeah, it's going to be a
well, it's
a multi-pump.
Okay.
And it was a big hit because everybody had to get one because it looked just like a Henry. Repeating rifle. And one of the things
Walmart shows anything other than like CO2s. They're the only ones that actually do.
They got CO2 version too as well, but they have the it's just a multi-pumper, just like the Daisy 880
or the Crossman that guy that I have. I showed you that.
The pumpers.
And those Crossmans, I'm sorry, they still look like James Bond guns from back in the day. You got the whole thing that freaking long.
This one's a rifle, not a pistol.
Right.
Okay. Well, like I said, it looks like wood. It's faux wood, and faux metal, but it looks like brass. Okay.
So it's bound by Barra, right?
Yes, made by Barra.
How much are they? The newest addition to the Barra family?
I think it's like $65, $70.
And
you get them at Walmart.
Is it 177 or 22?
177.
Okay. Now that's enough to hunt with, right?
Yeah, it's enough to get a squirrel
game.
Enough if you can get close enough.
What's the average range on those?
Maybe 20 yards.
You got to be really close because 20 yards is pretty close. 60 feet is not that much.
Yeah, no, it's not.
It sounds, when you say 60 feet, sounds like a lot. When you break it down to yards, that means that's, a third of that.
Yeah.
And to me, as an archer, 20 yards is really close range.
And that's what I'm saying. No, it's really close.
I mean, to me, an average hunt for me would probably be about 30 range, 30 to 35. And that's pushing it. I mean, I can go up to 40, but I'd rather not. But 20 yards is really close. I mean, I would probably say if you're hunting something small, like not exactly rabbits, because rabbits
squirrel rabbits. You have to be accurate. You have to be accurate.
Yeah, you got to be really accurate with those. Now, it's not like with an arrow, you're going to hit it and with a blunt tip and just basically rockets, socks off type of thing. But it doesn't put the pounds per square inch like an arrow does.
Yeah, it doesn't have the mass.
That's the main thing it misses.
The energy. Now, for anybody who has the Gen 1 like I have, I can just order the new receiver for it, the new receiver cover. I just swap out, 6 screws? And just put the new one on. So the new one, the upgrade is you're able to put a scope on it, and it has a pellet loading tray.
Now, I've never really been able to use scopes. It's not because I don't know how. It's just the fact is the way I see with my glasses and everything. I have an astigmatism that throws everything off when I'm trying to look through it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always just gone open sights, iron sights, because it's easier for me. Just
Well, I grew up iron sights, then finally made it to having scopes.
like I said, I can't get it's wait because I can't get my eye down where my glasses, allow me to look through, the focal point of the scope and still be able to see what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
So,
Now, when I use the scope, I have both eyes open. So
well, I can't see through the scope even with both eyes open.
Yeah.
Because I can't get my eye because it hit my edge of my glasses where I get close enough where I can even see it, and it throws everything off. So I can't get my eye down far enough. Because if I try to look through the side of my glasses, you have your glasses, you know what it's like. If you're looking through the center, it's fine. But as soon as you try looking at anything past your center, it's all blurry. And try to look through a tiny little aperture about that big, or that big, depending on which kind of scope you got. Still, I will stick to my bows, open sights, no issues with that. Oh, I did get contacted by the.
Looking nice, Cecilia.
She did it about a little while ago.
Mm-hmm.
From the AMS bow fishing company about getting the new screws for my bow fishing reel. So I ordered those. So I should be able to attach my bow fishing reel to my new bow that I just got, my new Deer Seeker.
Really?
So, yep. So I'm going to be able to go bow fishing next season. So give that a shot. I don't know about being able to record myself bow fishing or not, especially if YouTube would allow it. I don't want to get dinged for that, because they know how they are about weapons on. I don't know. It's a bow, so I don't know because it is fishing. They allow fishing videos.
Oh, that's what editing is for.
I don't edit, Jason, so there's no even point even mentioning it because if it can't be done in one take, there's no point. Because generally it'll be more me talking to the camera while I'm trying to do it than anything else. And if I get anything, you'll see me shoot, but you won't be able to see it hit anyway, except maybe bring it in if I get anything, which remains to be seen since all the bows I've tried previously in all the years that I've tried it were all right-handed, not left-handed. And I'm dominant left, so right-handeds don't work for me. Even though I can shoot regular bows, but bow fishing is different because you're not just looking. You can't just look at the target and hit it.
Yeah, you have to account for the water.
What is it called? Refraction.
Yeah.
And if you have what's the type of sunglasses you can wear for that? Polarized lenses. Yeah. I know I could probably get something that'll go over my glasses, but I don't know if they will be as 100% effective as regular polarized lenses. But since I haven't tried it yet, I have no clue. So that remains to be seen. And also, I believe in whatever I get, I eat. I'm not shooting fish to shoot fish. Because the whole point of hunting and fishing is to feed yourself. That's my personal belief. If you can't eat it, put it back. If you don't need it, don't kill it.
Well, in some places, if you catch a certain fish, you cannot put it back because it's going to
like perch and some carp and some other fish that you can't put back. Grass carp, definitely you can't. Because they're considered an invasive species.
Yep. Invasive species you cannot put back in the water.
Now, I don't know what kind of invasive species they have down in Texas. You can't consider bull sharks invasive species, folks. I'm sorry to say. Even in Iowa, they've been seen. Because bull sharks can breathe in
fresh water.
What was it?
Fresh water.
Fresh water. They can breathe in fresh water.
They can actually breathe also in brackish water too.
Yeah. So, because they've been spotted in the Great Lakes, I believe. Because they've swum up the rivers to those places.
No, are you ready for bed? Okay.
Now, I'm not sure if anybody's ever seen one. I have not, but bull sharks are fairly aggressive, from what I've gathered. Now, that would be really weird going fishing for bow fishing and end up actually getting a bull shark. Because they can tolerate the cold, surprisingly enough. But not like I'm going to go out and say I'm going to go get a bull shark and grab one from here in Iowa. But
Not like a Greenland shark.
okay, you lost me there.
You know what Greenland shark is?
No.
Yeah, it's one of the oldest shark species and oldest sharks.
Are you talking about the log salmon?
No, they're up in like the Arctic waters.
Seaweed? I have
No,
no
it's
idea.
an actual shark. It's a cold water shark.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd ever be in Iowa because we don't, we get cold, but only through part of the year.
No. I mean, no, they need the cold water and they go deep.
Oh, I don't think they wouldn't be deep enough here.
No.
The Mississippi might get in parts, but I don't think so. Bull sharks would be more readily
It's too
prevalent.
warm.
Now, is a sturgeon considered a game fish or a trash fish?
It is a game fish.
Okay, so you can't shoot sturgeon. Now, gar is not a game fish. But you can shoot gar. You cannot,
They consider that a trash fish. They don't care.
yep, you can't shoot gar. You can shoot gar, you can't shoot walleye. Because walleye is considered a game fish. They both have teeth, but one is better than the other. Don't ask me why. There's something called an alligator gar, but I don't know if there are any in Iowa.
I know we got them here.
You got them down there, but I don't think we have them here.
We got several different types of gars.
But I'm not sure what kind of fish we got here. But when we were at the gathering, I did see gar while we were out there.
Oh yeah.
If I would have had a bow fishing setup, I'm sure I probably could have got a gar.
Yeah, those are gonna be known as either like the common gar or the needle nose gar.
Okay, Corning, we have two different kinds. We have the long nose gar and the short nose gar. But alligator gars were once found in the Mississippi River Valley and may have lived as far north as Iowa, but they're not seen here. Spotted gars are another type of gar that live in low oxygen waters and prey on crayfish, crustaceans, and smaller fish. So those are kind of things that I saw those when we were down on the lake when we were down there fishing.
Yeah.
But I know they have a lot of bones. That's that I did. So I've never eaten one.
Yeah.
My dad caught one when I was a kid. He snagged it because snagging gar is loud.
Now they also have paddlefish too, up not too far from you, like in Missouri. And
a what?
Paddlefish.
Paddlefish?
Yeah, paddlefish.
Yeah, spoonbill.
Yeah,
Another name for it. Yeah, we've gotten those too. Those can get really, really big. You cannot catch those. You have to snag those.
Yeah.
They're only caught. You can only catch them by snagging, and you got to be careful because when you're snagging, you can only snag those things. If you catch anything else, you can get in trouble. But the thing is, it's a iffy 2020, 50-50 thing about getting whatever you get. But paddlefish are actually pretty decent. Dad called it a mudfish because it basically, on the bottom of the rivers and such. But they can get huge.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the biggest one here in Iowa is. Let's see here. I'm not sure what the. The biggest one here was over 107 pounds.
It's a good size.
That was back in 1981, so it's not that long ago, but long enough, But about 60 years ago. No, not 60 years ago, because I was just a kid, so about 50 years ago. Something like that. I have no idea. 1981. Someone do the math. I can't math right now. But they can grow 2 feet by the third year. They grow fast, and they can live up to 20 years. And some live past 30. But they're slow-moving, deep water fish. And they're usually caught by snagging below a dam in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about the bull shark in the 1900s. Anything past 2000, pre-2000 is considered the 1900s there, Mike. Yes, we were alive last century, weren't we, Jason?
Yep. Molly says
Go ahead.
Molly says we were born before the turn of the century.
Yes, we were. And I was born back in the 60s, of all places. And that's considered old now. I was right in the middle of the Vietnam War. And flower children and hippies and all that stuff. And yet, my daughter is a flower child. Go figure. Yes. Hey, you're not that far from me there, dude. You're not that much younger than me, or we're about the same age. I think I'm older than you, though, Jason, aren't I?
Yes.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
What year were you born?
72.
Oh, yeah. You're younger than Jenny.
Younger than me.
Huh?
I'm younger than Molly.
Oh, wow. How old is Molly?
6
What
years old.
year was she born, I should say.
66.
66.
Oh, yeah, she's a year older than me.
Yeah.
I was born in 67, Molly, so you and I are the 60s kids.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when we say we were born during the hippie age, we can do that. We'll accept that. We had good music back then.
Psychedelics.
The psychedelic stuff.
Oh, yeah, among other things.
Black lights and velvet posters.
Black lights were prevalent back then, and lava lamps, and all the other stuff, precursor to the 70s disco age, which really went down.
Trying to hear you, honey. I am winding down.
Me too. Yes, I got about 2 more minutes. I mean, I've been on for 2 hours. That's not much, but holy cow!
What?
There's been a paddlefish that was found in the Great Lakes Maritime Museum. It was the world record for a spoonbill, 210 pounds.
That's quite a bit.
It was taken in 1919 from Lake Okoboji.
Mm.
That thing is that would have been a chunk of a fish.
Oh, yeah.
But the largest one in the state was 107 pounds. That's in Iowa. So that's still a big fish.
It is.
Oh, Big Mike wants to know what month, Molly,
October.
because I think he was born that year too. Because I think Mike's just a little older than me.
October 16th.
Yeah, I was born September of 67. I won't be 60 for another couple years. But it is now 9 o'clock, folks. I am winding down. I think that's going to be a good time to call it.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you to my co-hosts, Jason and Molly. Thank you both for being up here. I really appreciate it. Hope to hear more about your air upgrade thing tomorrow.
Uh,
Or are you going to do more gardening stuff? Because I mean, you're all transitioning from growing season to winter season. So
yeah. Well, it's always gonna be growing season for me. I got a greenhouse.
okay, where'd you get your greenhouse from?
Vivor.
I have seen people talk a lot about people about getting the Vivor one because Vivor is very popular on TikTok Shop. Surprisingly enough.
Yeah. See, the problem is, we looked. I watched a video on Vivor. From what I understand, it's a sketchy, kind of sketchy.
How so?
As in the owners.
Why is that?
It's been like several different names underneath the same owner, and it's all Chinese stuff.
It sounds like Temu and AliExpress and all those other ones.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? ThinkGeek and stuff like that. They're all basically the same stuff. But like I said, my the backpack, which I did post in the chat, which I think I still got up here still. Yeah, I do. And it didn't cost me very much. I got it for less than $40 with shipping because I had a discount code because I ordered it during Black Friday week, so save some money. Yes, little miss. What is it? Okay, she's here just watching mom. But I'm going to end it here, folks. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, everybody who showed up. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe before you go. I will put the link to that my backpack in the chat, as well as the link to the Crappy Coffee Company. So please check them both out. I really appreciate it if you do the coffee one, especially because these guys are recovering addicts of various kinds, whether alcohol or whatever. It'll help their cause because they're on the path to recovery and doing well for themselves. Be well, be safe. I love you all. I'm out of here in 5, 4, 3,
Good night, all.
1, and we're out of here.